The day Mara found strength, Mara sat on the edge of her bed with her head in her hands. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, but she felt no warmth. For weeks she had been trying to hold her life together, caring for her sick mother, keeping up with work, and handling bills that never seemed to end. Last night had been the breaking point. Her car refused to start, her boss sent a warning email, and the doctor's report was still ringing in her ears. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered. Her voice cracked, and tears began to fall. She reached for her Bible out of habit more than desire. It opened to a page she had read many times before, yet today the verse seemed to glow. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12:9. Mara stared at the words. "Perfect? In weakness?" she murmured. "I have nothing left. Maybe that's why you're speaking now." That morning, instead of asking God to fix everything, Mara prayed a simple, trembling prayer. "Lord, I can't do this on my own. Be my strength." A shift begins at work. She expected another stressful day. To her surprise, her coworker Liam approached her quietly. "You've been looking overwhelmed lately," he said. "Let me handle the reports today. You've helped me so many times, let me help you." Mara blinked back tears. She hadn't asked for help, yet God sent it. Later that afternoon, her neighbor knocked on her door. "I noticed your car hasn't moved," he said. "Mind if I take a look?" Within minutes, he discovered the problem, a loose connection, and fixed it for free. Again, unasked help. Again, unexpected strength. Strength in the smallest ways. That evening, Mara sat in the hospital with her mother. Her mother squeezed her hand weakly and whispered, "You're stronger than you think." Mara smiled. "No, Mom. God is stronger than I knew." For the first time in weeks, she didn't feel crushed by life's weight. Nothing had magically become perfect, but something inside her had changed. Her spirit felt supported, carried, strengthened. She realized then that God hadn't removed her battles. He had stepped into them. In her exhaustion, He brought help. In her worry, He brought peace. In her weakness, He poured strength. A new understanding. As Mara drove home under the soft glow of evening lights, she whispered the verse again, "My power is made perfect in weakness." She finally understood. God was not waiting for her to be strong. He was waiting for her to be honest. To surrender. To let His strength fill the empty places she could no longer fill herself. Mara no longer felt ashamed of her weakness, she saw it as a doorway. A doorway to divine strength, supernatural peace, and a God who never left her side. Strength rising. Over the next few days, Mara noticed something new happening inside her, something small but steady, like a flame that refused to go out. She wasn't suddenly fearless or overflowing with energy, but she felt carried, almost as if invisible hands were holding her up. She began every morning the same way, a quiet prayer. A whispered surrender. "Lord, be my strength today." And every day, she found just enough strength for that day, not tomorrow, not next week, just the moment she was living. A conversation that changed everything. One evening, Mara sat beside her mother again, reading aloud a psalm. Her mother had grown weaker, but her eyes sparkled with a peace that made Mara pause. "Mom, aren't you scared?" Mara asked softly. Her mother smiled. "Fear comes," she said, "but God's presence always stays. Even now, in my weakest moments, I feel Him more than ever." Mara felt her throat tighten. She realized her mother wasn't just encouraging her, she was living proof of God's promise. Then her mother whispered something that Mara never forgot. "Weakness is not the end of strength, Mara. It's where God begins." The unexpected letter. A week later, Mara received a letter in the mail, a simple envelope with her name handwritten on the front. Inside was a note from her workplace's HR department. "We are pleased to inform you that your workload will be reduced temporarily due to department restructuring. You will receive the same pay during this period." Mara sank into her couch. She knew this wasn't coincidence. This was God. Again. The very area where she feared she would break was now becoming a place of relief and rest. A quiet miracle. Her mother's condition remained delicate, but something changed in the atmosphere at home. There was a calmness, a warmth, as if peace itself was living in the house. Mara no longer felt overwhelmed when she cooked meals, filled prescriptions, or drove to appointments. Instead, she found herself saying over and over, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Not as a cliché, but as a reality unfolding in front of her. She noticed her laughter returning. Her sleep becoming deeper. her hope rising again. The circumstances around her hadn't disappeared, but the burden had become lighter, carried by someone greater than her. Strength that shines. One Sunday morning, Mara's pastor asked if anyone wanted to share a short testimony. Without fully understanding why, she stood up. As she walked forward, her heart pounded. She was never the type to speak in front of people. But as she opened her mouth, her voice came out steady. "I used to think strength meant managing everything on my own," she began. "But I've learned that true strength is letting God hold you when you can't hold yourself. I hit a point where I was completely empty. And that's where I found Him the most. He didn't take all my problems away," she continued. "He just gave me the strength to face them, one day at a time. And that strength wasn't mine. It was His." She saw tears in the eyes of others who had been carrying their own quiet battles. Mara stepped down with her heart lighter than it had been in months. Not because life was easy, but because she had finally found the secret. Where she ended, God began.